What's up, everybody? So I want to make a quick video here about not crashing while driving, about a simpler concept, kind of like a nuts and bolts thing. Basically what my daily schedule is. Because when I was first doing the program, I was really interested in just kind of how other people organize and manage their day-to-day with everything that you have to do with the procedures and the food and the cooking and all that good stuff. And a lot of the content that was out there was more along the lines of, I guess more advanced topics, more along the development side, which is good stuff too, and I really like that content as well. But I guess from I'm a noob perspective, it was not what I was looking for at the time. So this video is just more about a day in the life of, and kind of how I do it now. So I really kind of do it on two tiers. So I'll kind of lay it out at tier one, and then I'll kind of tell you the other way that I do it. So the way I am currently doing it is, let's just start at work. I show up at work at 8 o'clock and I work till 5 o'clock. And then when I get home from work, I make a coffee enema, enough for 4 coffee enemas. So that's 2 cups per enema, so that's 8 cups of water. And I do that in the Instapot. And what I do is, Dr. Wilson talks about it on Instapot, the pressure cooker. So I do it in the pressure cooker. You basically do it for 14 seconds in there. So on an Instapot, it doesn't really have the resolution at a second level, it only has it at a minute level. So while I make that batch, I pretty much kind of sit there in the kitchen and I kind of watch it. It only takes a couple minutes, but I kind of hound dog, so I don't miss it, because you don't want to overcook it. If you could do it more than 14 seconds, it will overcook it. So when that's done, I will take it out, and that makes kind of 4 enemas, remember? But I always do 2 back to back. So I normally like to do 1 in the afternoon, like I just said, I make it after work, and then I like to do 1 in the morning. So when I make those 4 total, I put 2 in the fridge for the morning session, and I do those 2 that I just made immediately. And those 2 that I just made immediately, normally I put some ice cubes in there and I'll put them in the freezer a little bit, just to kind of cool them off a little bit so that they're more room temperature. And I can get that done, pretty quick. Maybe an extra, 10-15 minutes max to the equation of just letting it cool off. Once that's done, I'll do a coffee enema underneath the sauna lamps, and I normally do it on my back first. So I lay down when I do it, my lights are over me, so I'll be on my stomach and I'll let them do my back, and I'll probably do that for about 15 minutes, just to kind of get into the parasympathetic relaxed state, and then I'll go expel that one, and then I'll do another one, and that one I'm doing on my back, so I'm faced up, and I'll be doing the pushing down exercise while I do that one. I do that for another 45 minutes. So I spend about an hour after work doing 2 enemas, 1 at 15 on my back, 45 on my stomach, while doing the pushing down exercise. After that, I will cook my dinner, and I'll eat that, and then next thing you know, it's about 9 o'clock or so, and I go to bed. I try to go to bed from 9 to 5. So I sleep, I wake up at 5. The first thing I do is I put my vegetables in the pressure cooker for lunch and breakfast, and I warm up that coffee enema that I talked about that I made the night before, and I will once breakfast is cooking, I'll do that coffee enema session again. And it's a similar session. It's a little shorter time frame because I don't have much time in the morning, but I do a 35-minute laying on my back push down session, and then I'll do a 10-minute, normally I like to do it on my head and kind of chest area as a good way to just relax. I really love it when I put those sauna lamps and they're facing my head. It feels really good to me, very, very relaxing, but you should only do that for 5 to 10 minutes. So then I'll do that morning session. Then after that, I'll kind of take a shower and all that good stuff. I'll eat my breakfast. I'll put some of it in a Tupperware to go. I'll bring it to work. Normally, the thing that I don't like that I do, but I do it just because it's what I do, is that Tupperware that I made in the morning for lunch. I don't put it in the fridge, and I don't heat it up at work because all there is a microwave, and I don't want to put it in the microwave. So if you get a nice lukewarm lunch, and luckily I eat lunch a little early, so I feel a little bit better about leaving it in a Tupperware for a couple hours. But ideally I'd be able to put it in the fridge, and then I'd be able to heat it up using some mechanism that's not a microwave, and life would be good. So to bring it all back, it's basically this: go to work 8 to 5, come home, make 4 coffee enemas. I do 2 back to back, and then I eat dinner, and then I go to sleep. Then I wake up, I make breakfast and lunch, and while that's in the Instapot cooking, I will do another set of coffee enemas back to back, right? That will pretty much knock out all the procedures. I guess some pro tips along the way: when I wake up, I do a spinal twist. When I get home from work, I do a spinal twist. And when I am about to go to sleep, I do a spinal twist. When it comes to the reflexology, I have one of those little pokey balls. They're kind of like reflexology balls, and I keep that underneath the dinner table. So whenever I'm eating breakfast or dinner, I will just roll my feet on there. And then I also have one of those boards, those acupuncture boards that I can stand on. So if I stand on that a little bit before I go to bed, I get a decent amount of foot work in. If I have extra time before I go to bed, I do like to kind of rub my feet with my hands. I think it's more powerful that way, but you just try to do the best you can. So anyway, that's kind of my schedule, and I hope that helps.